Going first, so whoever wants to go after me.
Now it's live.
All right, I guess I'll go second.
Okay. So does everyone want to mute themselves?
All right, go ahead.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Where do I start? So, the topic that I chose is on coffee. I chose coffee because it's very something that all of us consume. Sometimes we all need a pick me up throughout the day, or a lot of us drink it in the morning. And caffeine has a lot of pros and cons to it, and how much we consume. So I'll start off with how much is the healthy amount to consume. So the healthy amount is 300 to 400 milligrams. And just to give you some examples, a 16-ounce grande Starbucks coffee has 300 milligrams worth of caffeine in it. That's pretty much 1 cup, a dose you should have a day. As for a small cup of coffee, like an 8 ounce, that only has 100 milligrams. So you can actually have up to 3 cups a day. The healthy amount is about 3 to 4 cups until caffeine actually stops working. After 3 cups of caffeine, it pretty much doesn't work for giving you energy. So there's almost no point of drinking it. Caffeine does have a lot of pros to it. Caffeine boosts your physical performance. It helps you focus and stay alert. If you didn't know, caffeine reduces risk of stroke and lowers risk of type 2 diabetes. It actually also helps fight depression and risk of suicide, which is pretty great pros for caffeine. You'll find that caffeine has a lot more pros than cons to it. But as for cons of caffeine can be super addicting. So when consuming, you definitely want to be very careful because sometimes you become so addictive. Not having caffeine gives you migraines, and that's something you definitely want to stay away from. It actually also causes insomnia and restlessness. Drinking too much caffeine, and mostly drinking caffeine at night, can keep you up, which is a very bad negative part of drinking caffeine. Um, and it also, the acids can aggravate heartburn. So caffeine can definitely give you a lot of heartburn if you do consume too much. Um, Other than that, that's pretty much the basics of the pros and cons of caffeine. Um, Caffeine's actually a pretty healthy thing to drink. I mean, I find it personally great in my life, so that's pretty awesome. But yeah, so that's the pros and cons of caffeine and how much you should consume on a day.
All right.
All right.
I actually did the whole time.
I did. I really hope I did. Jesus Christ, I was getting lost there a few times. But all right. I hope that was okay. I really don't know. I definitely can tell that I was reading off of that, but there's no way I could remember all of that.
It didn't seem like you're reading though. Like it seemed like you had it.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
I just realized that Shanika wasn't here anymore.
Yeah, she dropped a call. I saw she had a message, but I was in my speech and I didn't get to read it. But I mean,
She says, anyone else having
is anyone else having problems with the Hangout or just me? Yeah, it was just her.
I guess I'll go second because of the fact that I might as well. So
you want to go second?
Yeah, give me like 2 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, I told her to click on the link, join the call, but I mean, it's just trying to help out.
Let me see. Okay. 1 second. Stopwatch. Okay, so. Sorry, so I guess I'm ready.
All right. Okay.
So
and mute.
The topic that I chose to discuss today would be about whether or not being a strict parent is beneficial or harmful to your child. Of course, discipline is, needed to when raising a child because you don't want them to grow up to be like a serial killer or anything, but also you don't want to overparent them because that leads to rebellion. It leads to rebellion and other behavior problems such as bullying and depression. And you, as a parent, I personally can agree with this because my mom was really strict when I was growing up. She would never let me go anywhere. If I wanted to go to a party, she'd have to talk to the parent. And, as a teenager, there's no parent at a party, so stay home. My sister and I, like, simply for the fact that we were girls, we were controlled like a lot. Like our grandmother and our mother tried to tell us, like the way that women should be raised or the way that they believe that they should raise their children. So they believe that keeping us under lockdown is what will help us, but in reality, it makes us worse because the only thing that we're doing is, everything that we can to please them, but we get away from them. It's like everything that we've been holding in breaks loose. It stops a child from growing mentally, because they are thinking, there's something wrong with me that my parent doesn't like. That's why they want me to be a certain way.
I can't do anything with it because
you can't hear them.
And
I can't hear them. It's freezing.
Even though our parents,
what can I do?
For us, they in reality are not. They're really they are helping us, but at the same time, they're not. And
it's not just connected to the.
They're only thinking that
because the speakers are stepping on.
Being controlling other people is what is the only thing that they know. So they grow up to be controlling, and then the line continues, and it doesn't really stop anywhere. And it deprives kids of the opportunity to learn how to discipline themselves, learn that right from wrong so that your parents not, shadowing you and helping you do everything in life. Because at the end of the day, when you get older, you don't really know right from wrong and you're doing everything based off of what your parents would do. You don't really know what to do with yourself, or you're not going to take blame for any of the actions and mistakes that you make in life. You're only going to know how to blame other people and, not take responsibility for anything that you have done. And that is why strict parenting is a good thing, but also a bad thing. And that's my speech. And I'm done. So that was 3 minutes.
All right.
Alright, we gotta fix this.
Yeah, is Shanika there? Are you there, Shanika? Guess not.
Yeah, because I could hear her when China was doing her speech.
Yeah.
I don't want to redo it because I don't even remember half the things we said. So I'm sure. I don't think it wasn't too
No, just for a slight moment. I think you'll be perfectly fine on that part. I just want to make sure it doesn't continue happening.
So who
is she getting a connection at all, or
who's going next?
I'll go next.
I meant to put the box.
Yeah.
I forgot to put the box on myself. Damn.
Oh.
Well, I mean, do you just want to go ahead, or are we gonna wait, or what?
She just needs to mute herself. She can figure her.
She had muted herself, and I saw that she muted herself, but then I don't know what happened. The computer's acting crazy.
All right, should I wait or should I just go?
I mean, I say go ahead.
Her computer's probably frozen right now, so we should go.
Yeah, I'm just continue. I'm gonna tell her to mute herself or be as quiet as possible because we're doing our speeches.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna mute.
Okay. So take a moment and think about your favorite website. Now, what makes one of those websites your favorite over something else? Is it the design? Is it the colors? Is it how you use the website? Now, the reason why you like one website over another is the product of a user experience designer. What a user experience designer does is enhances the accessibility, the design, and the aesthetic of a website. Basically, it brings the consumer to the website and keeps them there longer, so they spend more money. So this is really important for businesses and clients because they want consumers to stay on their website. Now, how does one become a user experience designer? There are a few different ways. The first way is to get a degree, go to a four-year university or art school and get a degree in graphic design or computer programming. That's a great way to go. Or you can get a degree in psychology because user experience designing has a lot to do with how people think and how people act. So psychology is a great degree to go with as well. Now, you don't necessarily need to have a degree to become a user experience. A lot of people learn programs like Illustrator, Photoshop, Flash, Dreamweaver, just to name a few, and get experience in the real world. But the most important thing about becoming a user experience designer is to have creativity and a love for design. So no matter what your educational background, that is extremely important. Now, after you complete this education, you have to look for a job. Now, what employers are looking for in a user experience designer, there are a few different things. First, you must have an extensive knowledge of programs that are used in the industry, like the ones I listed before, Photoshop, Illustrator, Dreamweaver, to create websites and to attract consumers. You also need a portfolio of work to show clients. This is really going to demonstrate your creativity, your work experience, and what you really represent and what you're going to bring to the table for new clients. Clients want to see how creative you are and what you're going to do for them. Now, a user experience innovator needs to be innovative and be free thinking. This job is really for someone that loves to be creative and loves to come up with new things and new designs. Now, there are a lot of great perks to becoming a user experience designer. One of them is to have freedom in your job. A lot of user experience designers work from home. They do freelance work, which really gives them the flexibility to either be a stay-at-home parent, work from home, travel, really set your schedule. This is great for someone that is really good at managing their time, really be their own boss, but you have to be strict with yourself because you have to meet deadlines. This job also pays very well too. For creative jobs out there, there are not a lot of jobs that pay a decent salary. Starting jobs for user experience designer start upwards of $60,000, which is really great. So you can make a very good living being creative and designing. And there are also a high demand for jobs. There are a lot of companies that are looking for user experience designers to work on their websites, work on apps, so it's in high demand. Now, this is the best part is really you can just be creative and just do new things. And for someone who's artistic and loves design, that's very hard to find in a career. So whether you get a degree and go that way or just become experienced, the most important thing is to be creative and love to have a design aesthetic if you want to become a user experience. Okay, that's it.
Yay.
I have no idea how long that was.
I'm pretty sure that was at least 4 minutes, maybe
Okay.
5.
Did it look like I was reading my notes?
Not too much. There was one time where I noticed.
Okay.
And Nick, your turn. We just have to wait for China to get back so she can on here.
Sorry, my nose is running. But I was listening.
All right,
And-
well,
Now Nick.
hold on, we gotta get this. Shit. Her thing keeps popping up. I'm not going yet. Hold on. Am I supposed to go right now?
It's up to you. I mean, what are you waiting for?
I thought no, because I keep seeing what's her name's face on the thing. It's not my face.
Click on your face then.
I
It
see.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter on your end. It only matters on China's end. As long as she has the main
okay.
face,
All right.
she's the one recording.
All right, I'm ready. Okay. So, have you ever been through a hurricane? Ever wondered how it's formed? By the end of my speech, you guys should have a clue of how a hurricane is formed. I'm pretty sure most of you guys live in Florida, so you guys are curious of how they start, how they're created. Three key components that forms a hurricane is the heat of the sun, the air, and the wind. First, the sun warms up the water. Usually near the equator, is where the warmest water is located. The ocean water evaporates the water, so which creates clouds, moist air that moves upwards that creates clouds. After that, the continuous moist air flows up, which begins to rise, heating around it, creates more air to heat around it. A large mass of warm, moist air are now like formed, more thick around the ocean. Once it becomes more thick, it also creates low pressure. That low pressure creates the spin that also comes from the rotation of the earth, which creates the wind. Also, after the air goes faster and faster, the storm starts spinning and it gets stronger and stronger over time. Once it gets stronger, once it hits landfall, it can disintegrate basically. The water is like its power source. So once it has no water, it just dies down. So three key components that cause the formation of a hurricane is heat from the sun, air, and wind. That's it.
All right, what just happened?
Sonia's her laptop.
That was horrible, but I don't really care.
It wasn't horrible. At least you're talking about something informative, like a hurricane. I don't know. What are we gonna do about Shanika? Because I have things to do.
I don't know. She's trying to get on here for like the past 30 minutes. I don't think it's happening. What is she saying? Her computer's something wrong with her computer?
Yeah, she always has computer problems. She might. I told Xander it doesn't matter if she joined back because
Yeah, we're all done. I mean,
we're about to be done. So access Shanika.
Fine with whatever. Yeah, I'm straight. Whatever. At least I attempted.
So I mean, all right. So we're all done. At least we're getting it done before like 12 this time.
Yeah.
it took a long time for that last one to upload to that website.
I know it took a long time to be uploaded onto YouTube itself. So
All right,
so
so
I'm about to. I'm about to do this. So let me start the broadcast.